Rayan, what a day for Test cricket it was. I mean, two Test matches, both started almost at the same time, and I think even you were watching both the Test matches. Let's start with the first one. A match that was worth its hype. I think both teams going into the second day were pretty much into the game. Australia did give a 40-run lead to England, but and they were in a prime position. I would say England were 55 or 60 for no loss when Ben Duckett and Ollie Pope were batting. They were effectively odd 95 or something for one, and then that spell from Scott Boland just ripped the Australian middle order, and then Mitchell Stark picked up Joe Root and Ben Stokes. So all in all, within half an hour, they were all gone. And then what followed was something that I've never seen before. मैं सच्ची बोल रहा हूँ मैंने ऐसी बैटिंग देखी है बेन स्टोक्स की जब उसने चेज किया था वो हेडिंगली में 2019 बट दिस वाज कम्प्लीटली डिफरेंट ऑन अ स्पाइसी ग्रीन ट्रैक वो जहां मार रहा था गैप मिल रहा था सिक्स मारने की कोशिश कर रहा था तो बाउंड्री क्लियर हो रही थी आई मीन इट वाज mesmerizing to watch. I think that just sums up the entire day. But moving on to you, where did England miss out on the opportunity?
I think you answered that spot on where they lost out on a couple of wickets back to back. That was the game there itself. Even if they would have gone on to score 250, I don't think it would have made any
Hmm.
difference. That is thanks to Bryden Cars and Gus
Correct.
Atkinson for
Correct.
actually batting out of their skin and
Hmm.
getting England to a respectable target to defend.
Correct.
Otherwise, it would have been absolute shambles. Lot of introspection has to be done if you are in that English setup. You cannot afford to lose on consecutive wickets in such a short span. I mean, if you can build on a partnership, that's good. But in a short span, if you lose out on 3 4 wickets and don't build enough partnerships, many questions in the opening order also. Not expected from Zach Crawley, but short selections have been below par. Also, Naman, if you see, Travis had actually went on to show England what baseball actually is.
Correct.
That is the
It
right
was.
summary of the video, I feel.
Yeah, I think, and even when you see all the reels that have been surfing on the internet, the reaction of Stuart Broad when Joe Root got out, and Nasir Hussain going on record to say it is baseball without brains. But you have to talk about England's greatest ever Test batsman, touted to score a century on this tour, but he started like on a horrible note. 8 runs in the second innings, zero in the first innings, and the way of dismissal as well. It was not a ball that you drive on the up. That is why you got an underedge and got bowled. So I think the entire England batting lineup revolves around him and number five Harry Brook. If these guys don't score, then I don't think they even stand a chance of winning the Ashes or at least winning one single Test match even this time around.
You are 100% right again. I feel that Joe Root lacks confidence after the first test. That is my analysis because you usually don't see him play rash shots. Even today, when he came out to bat, the first ball that he faced, he actually stepped down the track and tried to nudge the ball away and get to the other end.
Correct.
So, I mean, usually you don't see him do that because he's somewhat of uh, moderate approach, somebody who takes the game slowly but steadily and he scores runs at a brisk pace. But today, what I saw, I didn't find him that confident. A lot of pressure on him by the fans, maybe by the occasion, maybe because he's not scored 100 in Australia, those all things into consideration. But he really didn't look the part. And one more area of concern that is a big thing for me is the form of Ben
Ben
Stokes, the
Stokes.
batter.
Correct.
I think as a batter, he's been a disappointment in the last two series as well. He's not really scored runs. And without him actually giving runs to England, that batting is very weak because you're relying on openers who aren't uh, contributing that much. I mean, how many runs can Joe Root score at the end of the day? Even if he gets close to 100, you will have to support and build partnerships and play sensible cricket.
Correct.
Baseball, Baseball's approach is aggressive, but that does not mean you play stupid cricket.
Correct. And from Australia's point of view, I'd like to ask you a couple of things. Firstly, going into the next Test match, who do you open with? Do you push Travis Head again as an opener, or you send him back at number five?
I think it depends on Usman Khwaja's fitness. He seems to be injured, but there is a break. So,
Correct.
and quite a long one because now you have won the test match in 2 days. So
Yeah.
if he's fit and fine, I think the 11 would be the same with Travis as playing at five.
And obviously, this particular match, Australia were short on their bowling resources. Pat Cummins was obviously present in the dugout with the brains, but he was not present on the field. Josh Hazlewood as well injured. The way Scott Boland came back in the second innings after the pelting that he got in the first innings, I think, although the team that was sent from UK to play the Ashes were happy in the first innings with the way they played Scott Boland. One particular player who's staying in UK currently was even more happy to see Scott Boland go for so many runs. I wouldn't name him. A lot of Indian players, Indian fans would feel offended otherwise. But apart from that, a lot of responsibility on Mitchell Stark's shoulder as well. A 10 for man of the match performance, 7 wickets in the first innings, 3 crunch wickets in the second innings as well. But one particular moment that defined the entire Ashes context for the first 2 days was the first over that he bowled on the day one, on the first day. Again, first over that he bowled in the second innings. Both over, like he picked up the wicket of Zach Crawley in the very first over. That set the momentum and then paved the way for the win. Don't you think?
Spot on yet again, and that is what intensity means. Being right up to the opposition, being on their face, being aggressive. And that's why they have been on the winning side for so long and they have dominated other teams. And that's why he's a generational bowler, Naman.
I
When
agree.
we draw comparisons between Stark, Bumrah, Stark, or some other bowler, Stark is by far a generational bowler because he has been serving and doing well for Australia since a very long time. He
Correct.
has been consistent, and even in his, I wouldn't say fag end of his career, but even towards the latter half of his career, he has been so good. I mean, top marks to him, and he deserves the man of the match to me. Just one point want to make for the English bowling. If you see the highlights of Travis Head's innings, you will see a lot of deliveries were pitched short. I mean, on that wicket, you can get the ball to seam around in the front and make it difficult for the batter. Try and put him on the back foot. But by bowling short, it became an ODI setup for him. Where he
Correct.
could easily play on the back foot, play the pull shot very easily, play the cut very easily. He likes those types of length. So I'm not sure why the bowling plans were not up to the mark and they were not able to pick up wickets on the other side.
One more positive from the Australia point of view would be the return of form of Marnus Labuschagne. Coming into the first match, he was obviously questioned for his place, but he had scored a lot of domestic runs. But I think the 50 that he scored in the second innings, despite the resistance that he had shown in the first innings, he got out. But today, coming on, like having a lot of runs going into the next match, it does like or like be it does become very positive for him going into the second match. But one last question before we move on to the second match. Uh, Next match, Josh Hazelwood definitely comes back in for Australia. I think Doggett should go out and Australia's bowling lineup becomes even more potent. Do you think now England can make a comeback in this series?
Very difficult from here. It's an uphill task and it will not happen in a day. The approach has to change. And that will only come, I feel, if Ben Stokes takes his responsibility as a captain and leads from the front. I mean, he did that in the first innings, but your primary role is as a batter. And if you let your opposition down, I mean, there's no way coming from there. And I predicted England to win at the start of the series. That was a very bold call, I think, that I made. And at the start of the video, you mentioned correctly that it could be a whitewash because of the way Australians have played. I mean, can you believe, Naman, they were having a lead of close to 50 runs morning
90.
में
हाँ मॉर्निंग में ठीक है.
morning में 50 runs का lead था and they made a mess of it. I mean, you lose by 8 wickets. That's shambolic to say the least. So coming out of this loss would be very difficult for England. But I'm hopeful that they can because they have senior players in that side. But it's unlikely to come from a change of personnel. You will have to play with the same team.
Correct.
So let's hope for the best.
Now let's move on to the other countries. India versus South Africa, second test day one. Pitch expected to be spin friendly, although it was spin friendly, but it was a lot more supportive for batters, I would say. Earlier in the day, I think KL Rahul dropped a sitter, because of which we could not pick up early wickets. But I think towards the fag end of the day, we did manage to pick up a few wickets. And I think on like towards stumps, India are maybe 60% and South Africa are 40%.
I could say that, but actually, I would give you credit for making the right call. You told me at the preview that you will play Nitish Kumar Reddy. That's
Correct.
what happened. Akshar Patel is missing out on this test, and Nitish Kumar Reddy is playing. I think it's an even contest, 50-50 at the moment. Uh, Nothing much from the wicket. I think it's a decent wicket. Even contest with the bat and ball. That is what we wanted. Uh, so I'm happy so far. But again, India will have to pick up those early wickets in the first session so that they can build on a first innings lead. That would be crucial, is what I feel, because you don't have Shubman Gill also. So that will
Correct.
make it a little difficult. Although, see, he hasn't been playing that well, but he's the captain of the side and a
Correct.
premier player.
Correct.
So I hope that they bowl out South Africa early. Bumrah actually bowled well, is what I felt in the morning session. Spinners weren't able to dominate that much, and I think if Akashdeep would have played Naman, he could have made an impact.
In a sense, even if he doesn't play, I don't think there's much assistance for the pace bowlers on this wicket. It's all about playing traditional test cricket, grinding it out, choking the opposition for runs, having defensive and attacking fields depending on the situation. And I think one question I would like to ask you, if you've seen India versus South Africa today, how was Rishabh Pant's captaincy on a scale of 1 to 10? I think he was a bit more defensive and had a lot of ODI type of a field setup where he allowed maybe singles to go on between when I think Temba Bavuma and Tristan Stubbs were batting.
Yes, yes, you are right. This topic was of discussion in the commentary panel as well, and I agree to your point because it seemed very defensive. For a player like Temba Bavuma, you would like to have an aggressive field. He is not someone who usually plays the aerial shots that often. So it was actually a shocker for me to see that setup. Usually, Pant is not that type of a player. He is more aggressive, but I don't know where this has come from. Has it been inculcated by the coach, or has
Correct.
it come from someone else? I don't know. But it was disappointing, to say the least.
And I think the standout bowler for India was Kuldeep Yadav again, picking up three important wickets. Ravindra Jadeja chipped in with one, Bumrah and Siraj one each. But the I mean, the character that the Indian team showed was the thing that impressed me the most. They did not allow South Africa to get away with the game, and a few partnerships were building. They kept the pressure on. They did not leak runs. The fielding was good, although the missed catch of Markram, the fielding was tight, because of which I think we maybe saved another 5-10 runs and put a lot of pressure. Again, I think one stat that needs to be brought out is that this is the first ever Test match when the first top four of any batting lineup have crossed the 35 run mark and not scored a 50. So everyone got starts but did not convert it into a big score. So where do you expect this match to go tomorrow? And where like since there'll be only one match tomorrow, one match going on tomorrow, everyone will watch this. So when it is safe to assume that India will come to bat.
I think it should be in the second session because they have a deep batting lineup as well. I mean, Keshav Maharaj can bat. Muthuswamy can bat. Apparently, he got runs in Pakistan when he was playing in the test.
Correct,
So their batting lineup is deep. Um, if Bumrah makes amends early on, then they could probably be bowled in under 300. Otherwise, I see India coming to bat in the second session. I'm hopeful that they go on to make a lead because that will be crucial. Because I think as the days go by, it will become much easier for the spinners to dominate.
correct,
So, second innings, India would be batting and they wouldn't like a score that would be too big. They
correct.
would like to keep the score under 150 or 200.
Okay, tomorrow. Okay, understood. So I think the way I'm looking at the scorecard right now, they are 247 for six. Jasprit Bumrah has already bowled 17 overs. Siraj has bowled down 18 overs. And Kuldeep has again bowled 17 overs. So I think utilization of resources have been better this time around than the first match. But I wouldn't expect Bumrah to bowl more than 3 overs upfront in the morning. Maybe 3 overs, a 3 over spell. If you pick up a wicket, well and good, or else switch back to the spinners. India would look to stop South Africa to around a 325, 340 score, because the batting is like the pitch is good for batting right now. But again, with the inexperience that we have, And obviously, even despite the experience, I don't back India to score more than 450 on such a pitch. Even a slender 100-run lead would be ideal going into the fourth innings.
Enough. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think obviously Jaiswal becomes a very important player. He's missed out in the first test match in both the innings. So he would be itching to get out there and score 100. And we all know if he scores 100, then it has to be a daddy 100, which suits India well. And I think Rishabh Pant as well, with the burden of captaincy, should rise to the occasion and score a few runs.
Just I want to add to one of your points. Again, I'm just speaking about the change that India made. Uh, you picked Nitish as an all-rounder and you made him bowl only 4 overs.
Correct.
So again, you are having that same mindset, same approach, where we'll pick all-rounders,
Correct.
neither a fast bowler or a proper batter. Maybe they could have picked up a proper batter, is what I feel, because you
Devdutt?
could have made something. Yeah, you could have made something out of it. But
I
now,
hmm, correct. And I
now
completely
you have
agree with
gone
that
ahead
point.
with.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've gone ahead with that decision. So we wish them the very best, and let's hope that he scores runs.
But sorry, like to ask you one final question before we close. Who bats at number three for India? Is it Washi? Is it Sudarshan, or is it Dhruv Jurel? Or is it Rishabh Pant?
Ideally, it should be Sudarshan. If I'm being very frank, they will not try and switch around too much, because if you're not playing Sudarshan at three, where do you play him? I
And
don't
Jurel.
think he's a batter. I don't think he's a batter who can play at six. I mean,
And
see, Jurel can.
hmm,
Jurel can play at six. I mean, he
correct.
can. He's a versatile player that way.
So do you think Jurel will play at number four or number six? I'll be shocked if I see Washington Sundar batting at number four tomorrow. Please, I mean, that's a position that has been held by legends. Sachin Tendulkar, Virat Kohli, and now on to Shubman Gill. Sometimes Ajinkya Rahane has even batted that position. So that's fine for me. But please, I don't want Washington Sundar batting at number four.
You never know. In the Indian cricket team, anything is possible. You may see a left hand, right hand combination, because that is what has been instilled in our mindset, that we need to play left hand, right hand combination. Although I am completely against that school of thought. If the batters are very good, you can put a righty righty together, lefty lefty together, but they will make that change. So I don't think Washi might play at four. You could see Jurel maybe come at four, but you never know. There are too many left handers to say the least.
Okay, no worries. So predictions for tomorrow. Player to watch out for.
For India, it should be Jaiswal, because all eyes will be on him, as you said. He'll be a crucial player. From South Africa, let's pick Marco Jansen.
I'm there.
Yeah, I thought I lost you for a bit. Yeah, let's hope India gets a lead. That's my prediction.
Okay, Rehan, thank you for joining us. We'll be back at the end of the test of India versus South Africa, which hopefully goes on to the day to the fifth day. And with the looks of it, I think with the light as well, we are losing 5-6 overs every day. So might as well, I think by the end of day five, we'll be losing one entire session, which means that it might as well go into day five. So thank you, Rehan. We'll be joining you soon. Thank you.